It's a cool set, very noisy. We'll have to shout. Okay, it's on your lunch hour, so we're going to try and keep it quick. Alexander Armstrong, great to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Ben Miller, lovely to meet you.
Hello there.
It's a bit of an unusual 5 minutes. It's a bumper 5 minutes. We've got 2 for the price of 1. We've got both of you here. We're on set.
Yeah.
Bit noisy, but let's go. 5 minutes starts now. How did you guys first meet?
We first met, strictly speaking, we first met outside a World Party gig.
In Cambridge, years and years and years ago, but then we were actually properly introduced to each other. Do I have to do it this fast? That's what we do, to get all the information in. We were introduced to each other in about 1992 by a mutual friend of ours called Jez Butterworth.
It is quite loud, so we're going to have to almost shout.
Yeah.
You were both at Cambridge University. Were you there at the same time?
We overlapped?
We overlapped by about a year. I think I started in 1985 and did a PhD, so I left in 1991, and I think you started
89 to 92.
Yeah. You did a PhD in quantum physics.
In quantum physics. Well, yes.
What was the name of it?
It was called Novel Quantum Effects in Quasi-Zero-Dimensional Mesoscopic Electron Systems.
And you finished it?
I haven't finished
the
it.
sentence.
So you're not quite either. You're not quite a doctor yet.
Somewhere is still waiting for me to hand that in.
Yeah. You did English.
I did English.
And how were the seeds of the actual comedy duo sown? How did that all start?
Well, it was mainly a comedy club, TBA, wasn't it?
That's right. When we first emerged into the light of London, we realised that actually nowhere was there a place where you could put on sketch comedy, character comedy, like we did. The 90s was the big stand-up explosion. Newman and Baddiel, I think, were about the nearest thing to sketch and character comedy. We went to see them putting on their show at Wembley, which was very exciting. The first time anyone had performed character comedy in front of that size crowd. But by and large, it was all stand-up then. And so TBA was a sketch that was a club that we... I'm just trying to talk so fast.
It's quite difficult.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Shall I ask you another question?
No. But basically, these friends of ours, Andy Parsons and Henry Naylor, set up this sketch club, and we met there, didn't we?
We met there, putting on... Yes, exactly.
Now, a lot of pop groups and rock bands split up to satisfy the egos of the individual members. They go off and pursue solo careers. You managed to sort of combine both. You do your double act, but you also have individual careers as well.
Yeah.
We do, yes.
Yeah.
Solo album project.
You've done a lot of presenting. You even turned down Countdown.
I turned down Countdown. I did eventually, yes.
Why did you do that?
Because I think it was going to get in the way of doing Armstrong Miller and other things that I really, really do want to do. It wasn't that I didn't love it.
It was tremendously flattering to be asked to do it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great show.
Ben, you've worked with lots of stars as well. Obviously, Rowan Atkinson, Johnny Vegas. What's so special about working with Alexander Armstrong?
I don't know. The sex is better. It's fantastic. It's just, I don't know. It's like part of the. I just think Xander's the funniest person I've ever met, and partly, you know, it's just there's always an excitement about this.
That's really nice.
You know.
Who writes the gags, though?
Well, neither of us anymore.
Yeah, well, we sort of...
That's disappointing.
We do work very hard. But,
we work very hard.
We work with some really talented writers
yeah.
who come up with amazing characters.
Not all comedians like to be or can be funny off stage, off set. Are you guys funny behind the scenes? Do you make your friends laugh down the pub?
I don't. You do, I'd say.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes depends what sort of. Yeah, I'm very bad at being able to turn it on. Though I can't. I hate those sorts of occasions where you have to be funny on demand. I find it's something that usually comes from. It's much. You can be funnier if you're relaxed, I think, than if you're sort of.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a new series, obviously, of Armstrong and Miller coming out.
How much time have we got left?
We have got precisely 1 minute and 20 seconds to go.
Fabulous.
Fine.
I want to know a little bit about your characters and you're in at the moment. And has it been easy to sort of go mainstream? You're on BBC One.
It's been a joy going mainstream. Yeah, it's been.
Nothing's really changed, actually.
Fantastic.
We didn't feel we had to change very much. Obviously, the references of our sketches need to be a little bit more general, but the language needs to be better. But that's no bad thing. We're a bit older now. We've got kids now.
Yeah.
You can't go around swearing.
We don't want to do bad
getting
language anymore.
Who was best man at whose wedding? You, I think, were best man.
No,
were you not?
I wasn't.
Is this not
best
true?
man.
We were neither of us best men.
I had terrible rumours about cake baking in Somerset on stag do's.
I was an usher at Zan's wedding. I was on the stag, but
is this true about cake baking?
But it's not. No, this is the fault of Wikipedia, which sort of writes all sorts of stuff.
Quite useful research tool, but not always true.
Xander's cousin, Aidan Hawkes, who's a brilliant writer. writer, also a writer for this show, did this fantastic thing where we all did cake.
We had to
icing.
we made my wedding cake was made
So there's an
on my
element of
stag
truth in there, a
weekend.
little bit.
Everyone very,
Yeah.
very hungover, and lots of incredibly filthy things on the cake that had to be taken off, made out of ice.
Just on the cake, though.
But,
Now,
yeah.
before we finish, I just want to know, what other comedy duos do you guys like?
Morecambe and Wise, Dean and Jerry.
Parker and Stone, massive fan.
Yeah.
Are you still going to be a comedy double act
In 60
when
years'
you're in the
time.
80s? Yeah, 60 years'
Yes!
time. Time is up. Really nice to meet you guys.
Very nice to meet you too.
Very
Yeah,
nice
nice
to
to
meet
meet
you.
you. Thanks.
Excellent.